My name is Amanda, creator of the Strong and Sassy program. What I want to talk to you a little bit about today is how maybe you have struggled in the past and what maybe we can do to help with those struggles that you've had in the past with your health and fitness goals. Um, the first thing I wanted to start with was you know, I know that a lot of people think that they know what to do when it comes to our health and fitness. Eat less, move more. Um, but if that was the case, I think that everybody would be walking around very lean with six packs, no body fat, and the world would be a much healthier place. So, in my opinion, and from my knowledge over the years and working with people, I don't think people really know what to do. Um, and that's not through any fault of your own. If you have a medical problem, you go to a doctor. If you have a plumbing issue, you go to a plumber. If you have a car issue, you go to a mechanic. But we all seem to think that we should know what to do when it comes to our health and fitness. We all think that we should be fitness professionals and nutritionists. So that is the first point that I wanted to make. Um, and I want to explain to you what it is that you do need to do. So, in the grand scheme of things, we tend to put our goals as very short term goals. So, we tend to have a very short term approach when it comes to our health and fitness. What I think that people should be doing, and what I have seen with my strong and sassy clients, is that when we put a longer commitment to it, or we're thinking about this a lot more in the long term, we get results a lot better because we're not trying to do 7 million things at one time. And we're committing to a longer lifestyle change, and we're committing to the process as opposed to just committing to the outcome. The best thing that I have seen with my clients is making small habit changes. So again, when we start with a new program, quite often we're trying to drink 2 liters of water. We're trying to hit our calorie targets. We're trying to hit our protein targets. We're trying to sleep 8 hours a day. We're hitting 10,000 steps. We're training 3 times a week. We're cutting out coffee. We're trying to get in our fruit and vegetables. And we've so many things going on for such a short period of time. Whereas if we started implementing those things week by week, it's a lot easier to sustain. So just having one new habit each week. And yes, you might turn around to me and say, yeah, but that's so slow. But it is a lot more consistent and sustainable. So going slower is the key to being able to achieve your goals. That is what I have seen from my clients and from my own journey as well. So I wanted to introduce you to Aveen. Aveen actually started with me during lockdowns in 2021. And obviously, it was a difficult period for people. People didn't understand what we were going to be doing, what was going to happen. And Aveen decided to take control and reach out for help. So she dropped 8 kilos over lockdown, and her results were actually from training from home, obviously, because we didn't have access to gyms or anything like that. From what she said, gaining nutrition knowledge and understanding about these habits was the best thing that she has done for her overall health and wellness. So that slower approach, she's actually still with me, 2023, and she's still with me, and she is still continuing to maintain all those good habits that she has learned over the last 2 years. We tend to look at just the bad. Now, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. But when it comes to our overall health and fitness, we tend to just focus on the bad. I don't know if it's a feminine thing, I don't know if it's a perfectionistic thing, but we tend to focus just on the bad. We don't look at the good, we don't look at the wins, we don't see all the good that we're doing and all the things that we're trying to do. But we also don't focus on the ugly. And one of the ugliest and hardest parts to take from our health and fitness is that we actually are in control of it. So I know quite often we blame maybe circumstances, or we blame programs, or we blame diets, but we have to take control and take onus and realize that we actually have control of these things. And by focusing on that and realizing that we do have control, we can look at the good and the bad alongside that control. Um, an analogy I love to use is attending to your own oxygen mask first. So a lot of us are employees, a lot of us are maybe parents, a lot of us are daughters, we're sisters, we're friends, and we would do anything for all these other people in our lives. Especially with work. I see with work a lot, like people will do anything for their jobs, they'll do anything for their employers. Another one, mothers, they'll do anything for their kids, but they don't look after themselves. We're not taking care of ourselves. We're not attending to our own oxygen mask first. If we can't attend to our own oxygen mask first, if we're not looking after our overall health and wellness, we cannot help everybody else around us. But you have to admit that you need help. Something that I see really regularly is, we think that we're in control. We think that we're doing the best that we can. We think that we have all areas covered. Again, going back to maybe if you're a mother, you're looking after your kids, you're doing your job, but are you looking after your health? Like, if your health goes, nothing else matters. If you're diagnosed with an illness or a disease tomorrow, nothing else matters. And sometimes you have to admit that you need help and that you actually are drowning, that you find that it is a little bit too much, a little bit too overwhelmed with the whole idea of it. And a lot of women don't realize that they're drowning. So we get to a point in our lives where we feel like this is normal. It's normal to feel like we have no energy. It's normal to not be happy in our clothes. It's normal to stand in front of a mirror and pick up bits of our body that we don't like. That is not normal. If you are not happy with those things, you have total control to change those. And here's the honest truth. And I know that it can be hard to say and look at ourselves and say, well, I am the problem. I am the one who has control of this. I am the one that can change this. And it can be really hard to point out the areas that we need help in. I've been there before myself, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my own journey. But it can be really hard to look at yourself and say, I know that I'm not where I want to be, but it actually is within my control. And how do I know? Like, maybe I give off this idea that I'm a super confident, sassy, strong female. Well, the reason I actually developed this program was because I've actually been there too. I was a person that seemed bubbly and happy and outgoing on the outside, and to everybody else, I was so like, confident. When inside I was not feeling happy internally. I was focusing so much on what I looked like on the exterior that I wasn't thinking about how my interior felt and how I felt within myself. From a nutrition perspective, I was a nutritionist who was actually binging and restricting. So I was not necessarily fad dieting, but I would restrict myself throughout the week, and then I would end up binging at weekends when it came to my nutrition, because I just didn't have that good relationship with food. I didn't have that good relationship with my body. I wasn't happy within myself, and that is something that was within my control. I didn't think it was. I thought that it was something that I couldn't work on. But when I started to work on my mindset and I started to work on all of the internal things, I started to realize I can focus on these external things. There are reasons we feel like this. So as I said, I have been there too. And one of the big reasons why we feel maybe inferior, or we're not happy within ourselves, or we're not confident within ourselves, is unfortunately the implosion of social media, and how, like, at every tap we're looking on our Instagram, we're scrolling through our Facebook, we're seeing all these perfect ideologies of a life, of a lifestyle, of people's bodies, of these photoshopped beautiful pictures of people. And this is really, really hard for our confidence. Our confidence gets a huge hit when we don't see ourselves the same way as these social media influencers or people that are so beautiful on social media. And that again is something that you can work on. So how you feel about them is something that you can work on yourself. I don't know if it's a female thing or if it's just the females I work with, but we have a perfectionistic attitude. Myself included, by the way, this is something that I work on the daily. We just expect everything to be perfect, and we expect if we don't do everything at 100%, then we failed. And having this attitude is what often leads us to failing with our health and fitness goals, because majority of the time we're not going to be up at 100%, but we need to be ticking along quite steadily for it to be a sustainable long-term lifestyle. And then lastly, comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. A lot of people compare their circumstances to, again, maybe their friends, maybe people on social media, maybe their family members. No two people are comparable. Everybody has different lives, everybody has different lifestyles. What worked for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. And that's one of the reasons I think why my Strong and Sassy program is so successful, is because I tailor it to the individual, to their lifestyle, to what they can sustain, to what their expectations are, and we tailor it to that. So as opposed to giving you a generic, this plan works for a one size fits all and a cookie cutter program, it is really based on the individual, because we can't compare other people and we can't compare their results. So why should we be comparing programs? And you really need to get to your why. If you don't understand why you're feeling this way, about your body or about your how you're feeling within yourself, if you don't understand why you have no energy, if you don't understand why you're constantly fad dieting or you're constantly on and off a diet, you're never going to be able to get over and to achieve that goal. So to get over that hump and be able to achieve that goal, you have to dig deeper. You have to get to the why. And again, a lot of the work that I do is trying to get people to understand that why. Everybody's why is different, but your why has to be really, really important to you. Again, I have helped so many women over the period of time that I've been working. For the last 10 years, I've been working as a nutritionist. I'm 8 years in the fitness industry, and I've been working online for the last 3 years. It has been so amazing to be able to help so many different women all over the world. So first one is Anya, who ran a marathon in Vancouver. Sarah lost 10 kgs in Roscommon, Ireland. Teresa ran a half marathon in Longford, and Jennifer lost her Sydney Stone. Like, that alone has just been a massive part of the journey, being able to help people all over the world. There's nowhere too far, and that's an amazing part of being online, is being able to help so many people all over the world. Your next steps. What do you need to do to get involved, to get on the Strong and Sassy program, to accomplish your goals, to find that program that's going to work for you? You need to book a discovery call. If you're watching this, chances are you're either talking to me and going to book a discovery call, or you're already getting ready for that call. So you need to reach out and ask for help. If it is something that you are really feel strongly about, if it's something that we can help you with, I really want to be able to do that.